A Muslim doesn't get afraid. Okay. They get uncomfortable. Okay. And the one thing in life that we despise the most is, people that make people uncomfortable. Okay. It's poor manners. It's not reflecting the beauty of the gift of the glory of life. All right. So, they had a little thing on here that's watching, and they said, anti-Israel Mandani was can't do his police things. And then this, what's her name? What was this little girl's name? Inan Omar. Okay. She's not a Muslim. You know that, right? Okay. Oral Roberts claimed to be a Christian. Jesus said, if I don't get $1 million from y'all, he's going to kill me. Okay, the guy says he's a Christian, right? Okay. Hear that, St. Peter? Understand? Paul? Bueller? Timothy? Okay, understand. Mark, Luke, Matthew, John? All right, so just because somebody says they're a Christian, philanthropists are not, neither a Christian nor a Muslim be. Philanthropy is not real. You see, we don't believe in stuff that humans make up. We understand we got to tolerate it because you suck. Okay, do you understand? It's true. So I was sitting there. Most of the day was we went and had to take Dad to the eye doctor, and he had to get his eyes dilated with the eye drop thing. So he couldn't drive. So I had to kind of go there and wait and run around, and and what was this guy saying? Neville Goddard. God and I are one lecture, one voice. I'm not gonna go listen to it. No. Because we're not living the Lord's Prayer. And I would be surprised if Neville Goddard says that's what we have to do to live Islam worldwide. So I'm not going to go listen to it. Why would I go listen to someone talk for an hour, okay, that isn't doing what he's talking about? Do you understand? When you stand up for the Lord's Prayer without fear and get abused by perverts and tell everybody, don't worry about it, we'll get this taken care of, we'll live the Lord's Prayer, and we'll love one another in eternal faithful peace, have faith, right? You listen to that dude, right? Oh, okay. Until you do it. Then you don't have to listen to me anymore. That's the nicest thing about my Facebook and my YouTube is once we're living the Lord's Prayer, you ain't got to go back and listen to it. Why? It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. But we ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that no more. Okay. Well, what are we doing now? We can all have 100. If there's 100 Indians showing up at the powwow, we'll have 100 pieces of fry bread, maybe more. Some people play offensive line in 1 seconds, right? Seconds on fry bread? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure Shiaz Pete is like, hooah, there you go. Hooah, that's okay. Just respecting your brothers. Okay, thank you. That's Lakota. Okay, so that's Joe Leaphorn's language. Joe Leaphorn ain't Sioux, ain't Navajo. No, he's Sioux. He's Lakota or Oglala. I'm not sure. He didn't tell me. He didn't tell me if he said he's Sioux, but he didn't tell me if he was Brule. I always forget the Brule. I'm sorry. I always say Hunk Papa, Minikanju, Oglala, and Lakota, and I always forget the Brule. Is Crazy? I think Crazy Horse was no, not Crazy Horse. Sitting Bull, was he Brule? He might have been. Or was he a Hunk Papa? Maybe he was a Hunk Papa. Brule, was Rain in the Face, Brule? What about Manafred? Was he Oglala? I'm not sure. I don't care. I don't like Red Cloud. Me and Red Cloud ain't friends. We don't talk. No. Who do I talk to? Little Hawk, who probably got my cat. It was not a little hawk. So that's probably what got Sly. I wouldn't be surprised. It's a big old hawk. So having to tell Betsy, you got to, that's a little something to look out for. You can't see coming. You could be in the parking lot thinking you scamming on birds, and a bigger bird, there's always a bigger fish. I was like, damn, that's probably it. He was too shrewd for coyotes, and he was still very agile and swift. But a hawk that big, that thing was almost as big as an eagle. He went through and the dad goes, look at that. I was like, holy cow. I told you I heard of, okay. What are you going to do? I don't know. Just tell Betsy, hey, till he moves on or she moves on or whatever, you might want to be real close to the house, just, And that hunting thing you do, you might want to take it easy. While you're out hunting, somebody else is hunting you. Someone else is hunting you. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hunt not, for you hunt yourself. Hunt not, unless you're ready to be hunted. Whoa, whoa. The road of life is rocky, and you may stumble too. But while you're hunting a dove, a hawk is hunting you. It could be happening. If I know David Rockefeller, that's most likely what's happening. Yeah. Verb, that's what's happening. He didn't like you guys. He hated most of you. Okay. I don't. I love people. I got time to talk to them and to listen to them, even if they don't have time to talk and listen to me. The one little lady in there, they came in and talked to us. Okay, so she can hear. Okay. Everybody else I talked to, they can hear. They can hold a coherent conversation. And she reminded me so much of Emily, the one who wanted to miss Daddy. She was so cute. Oh my gosh, she was cute. She reminded me of Emily. I was like, oh my gosh, she's wearing the little Cinderella dress. Like, oh, she's so cute. The sweet little carrying eyes. She didn't want to leave Dad because he had to get his eyes done, and it was distressful to her. Little girls are so sensitive and so cute, especially when they love Daddy. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're so cute. But me and the one girl that works there at the eye clinic thing, life is, you get to see a lot of family come through here because, you come in, especially an eye doctor, you got to bring somebody with you to drive you, and typically it's family. And life is absolutely meaningless without family. You'll get people, no, you'll find sometimes. Okay, when your friends become closer than family, if you didn't have family, would your friends be able to become closer than family? Okay. You could be Adolf Hitler's offspring and learn from his mistakes and not repeat them. Okay, but life has meaning because you're his offspring. So life is absolutely meaningless without family. You clone yourself, put your brain on a robot, and then we all suck. We have world peace, though. Yeah, because everybody's got a fucking robot. It's, replication of that crazy batshit lunatic's mind, right? So life is absolutely meaningless without family. And if you cannot appreciate, okay, when a human being sees another human being and decides they want to live on Earth through sharing life through other people, life has no meaning. You would all the things in life, macaroni and cheese, pizza, broccoli, Tommy Edwards tunes, Ella Fitzgerald's tunes, and what other crappy songs you listen to that you think are good. I'm kidding around. Chime Rodriguez tunes, right? He's a Mexican Hank Williams, right? You wouldn't be able to be, to enjoy. Well, you look at what came down the road today, wanting me to be one more mistake to make, a bridge to burn to get to someone new. Hey, pass me by if you're only passing through. It'd be, you wouldn't, doesn't music have more meaning? Isn't leaving me the best thing you've ever done? If you told me that your ego was greater than God and I left, yeah, I fall asleep the moment I turn out the lights, and music has a hell of a lot more meaning. Yes. It's a Barbra Streisand song from The Way We Were. I'm never alone. Okay. Yeah, I've got Mogan Cycle, and we're talking to Sun Yat-sen, right? We've talked more than he wanted to. Yeah. He wanted to hear the good news, okay, because he'd been through so much hell. Okay. And Suzuki knew that. Okay. The Sun Yat-sen was murdered and poisoned to death by his own people because he was a betrayer to his own people. Same thing that the Japanese did with Suzuki for connecting to me in prayer and meditation because I was better than the people in Japan that don't want to live the Lord's Prayer. It's like, well, yeah, of course. Seriously. I mean, yeah. But the thing is without family, he wouldn't be able to realize that I'm the type of person that he wants to, Maria, Tony, Mariko, Logan. I'm just kidding around, but you know what I mean. Okay. Funny. Was it Marty? I can't remember what the name of it was. A cartoon. Okay. But overall, life is good. It's a beautiful gift. without life, we don't have a way to express, Me, I simply adore women. Okay. And I adore children. And one man can't be, like I told you, with Lord Saladin and Muhammad and David, especially David and Solomon. So that was miserable, having all those wives because the other guys were fucking jerks. It wasn't because, remember Lim Allen told me that his mom, because Lord Solomon ruined all those women's lives. It's like, no. They would rather spend one night a year in a bed with Solomon than spend 364 days a year with a complete murdering, misogynistic asshole. And who could blame them, right? If only for one night, right? And you don't have to be totally discreet. No. But that's absolute hell for someone like Solomon and myself. I have 400 wives because the rest of these men are not standing up for the Lord's Prayer and they ain't worth a shit. That'd be horrible. I meet beautiful young men all the time. It's like, and Saladin told me, you need to go out there and make more husbands for my wives. My daughters are crying out in prayer. That they're the ones that will stand up to protect the innocents are being murdered, and the murderers are raping them. And I'm like, oh God, this is horrible. That's why he's always listening to music and he's always joking, right? You got all these people lined up outside Jerusalem with swords and shields with crosses on it saying they're killing people in the name of Christ. I'm like, okay. So I was very respectful and patient, with my conversations with Lord Saladin, because I understood. I'm like, oh, that'd be horrible. That'd be horrible, Jesus, when I'd watch those old movies, those old Victor Mature movies and the Seven Samurai. God, that movie was terrible. I remember sitting watching and going, how do they show this on TV? This is terrible. Those men are taking swords and cutting and slicing and cutting. It's a horrible movie. Because that shit really happens. It's not like Dracula and the Wolfman. That was one of the worst movies I ever saw. Any of you ever see The Seven Samurai? I like the Magnificent so much better too. I really like Charlie Bronson's character. And the kid who, falls in love with the girl and comes back, and the soccer player dude. Yeah, I like him too. Chris, him and Steve McQueen. Yeah, they're cool too. But my two favorites are Charlie Bronson and the kiddo. Because me, I don't go away, senor, don't go away. I was raised on Marty Robbins, right? Beg her forgiveness and never wonder again. And tonight in their own hacienda, the hands that once held a sick gun are holding their baby tonight. Meet me tonight in Laredo, right? That's the ultimate in the Mesilla Valley, not bury us both deep and maybe we'll find peace and pull in the trigger. She fell across the dead cowboy's chest. We all want Chapel Bell Chime. That's a good one. That's one of my favorites. Me too. Bound for Old Mexico. Orale, orale. That's a good one. That's a damn good song. I say, yes, it is. Okay. Bound for Old Mexico. Waiting in Reno. That's a good one. Don't go away, senor. Yeah, it's also an excellent tune. What other ones? Girl of Gardenia's in there. No, that one's sad. He never sees her. He goes around looking for the rest of it. Oh, that was sad. So is Missing in Guadalajara. And every year on that very same day in September, he lights a candle and prays that she will remember. Inside the chapel, he begs the padre to stay. He swears Vanessa will surely be here today. Holy sorrow at the mission in Guadalajara. When you're living the Lord's Prayer, if a woman promises you something and doesn't deliver, you realize, wow, must be a Philistine. There are good Samaritans, but not that one. Right? Do you see what I'm saying? Okay. So, it's true that without family, life is utterly meaningless, right? In your arms, I hold you. In my arms, I hold you so close to me, while love flows so tenderly from your heart to mine. And as we whisper softly our words of love, are echoing high above. while chapel bells chime. Ba, ba, ba da, ba da, ba. They were trying their best back then? I think so. You ever heard the Spanish Lullaby by Marty Robbins? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I like Marty Robbins. Me too. Yeah, my son Pat Frick was raised on him. And when Johnny Rodriguez, the Hank Mexican, there's about half of the catalog that I have to send to him sometime. I guess I probably will. Say, Patrick, these are even better than the ones on his greatest hits, yo. Ah, his first 3 albums, there's not a bad song on them. They're all good, son. And you're missing some Charlie Pride I didn't have. In the middle. That song makes me cry. So good. In the middle of nowhere. It's a good song. If you don't like it, the hell's wrong with your musical fucking taste beds? Are you stupido? What's crazy? You loco? What's wrong? Vatos Locos forever? No! Help keep New Mexico healthy. Spread the truth and live it. Okay. Faithfully. Okay, guys? I love you, man. If you don't like me, it's because you're a selfish asshole. You do like me? Good for you. Let's spread this.